It's TGI Friday, September 17th version of TGI Friday. Thanks for joining us on the Fun Astrology Podcast. Thomas Miller here. Glad you're back, or glad you're here for the first time if this is your maiden voyage with us. We just talk about astrology for a quick few minutes every day, Monday through Friday, and then tomorrow, Saturday, we will be talking medical astrology Sagittarius with Stephanie. Saturdays have become quickly our most popular broadcast, so we'll look forward to getting with her tomorrow. Meanwhile, we are going to talk about a couple of aspects, set you up for the weekend, and then come back around to the one that we mentioned yesterday. Kind of take the same tact on this one, too. It's the square now between Venus and Saturn. What does that look like? Everybody going, uh-oh. My relationship is it? No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Depends on which side of the coin you are on. And we'll talk about both here in just a quick minute. Remind you again, I've got the video of the update for the fall of 2021 on the United States. So we take a look at the United States natal chart, solar arc charts, what's coming up with Pluto return, a couple of other placements that are in there, the main theme that has surfaced from taking a look at all of this. This has been a lot of extensive work, and it was a lot of work to put this together because I did it all up around in the mountains north of here. So I kind of put this together in a number of different ways outdoors, so we get to go out and play outside. So that's on the funastrology.com website right up toward the top. You'll see a little video preview of it there. This is not a talking head in a chart. Let's just put it that way. Now, the moon today is in Aquarius, 13 degrees, so it stays there, goes void, of course, tomorrow at 5:14 a.m., and we have a long one. So Saturday, clean out the garage day. It's a void, of course, moon almost all day, 5:14 a.m., all the way to 4:20 p.m. when the moon moves into Pisces. That's Saturday. Skip Sunday, basically. Nothing major happens. And then what we'll look forward to on Monday is Mercury trining Jupiter. So you're in this window of favorable communication. Even though Jupiter is in retrograde, Mercury is in the shadow period, about to go retrograde. As long as you're speaking your truth, you have positive energy behind you. And then we'll have our full moon in Pisces Monday evening, 7:55 p.m. Eastern Time. So that pretty well walks you through the next couple of days. Now, let's pull back to what happened this morning at, 2:15 this morning when Venus squared Saturn. So Venus is in Scorpio, and Venus doesn't like Scorpio because Venus rules Taurus, which is opposite Scorpio. So when that happens, when Venus lands in Scorpio, it is the opposite sign of its home sign, own sign, and one of its two, obviously, because it also rules Libra. And that's another ding to Venus being in Scorpio, because remember, we talk about when a planet changes signs, it usually, especially when it leaves its own sign and it goes to the next sign, it's so sad. It's like Jupiter going from Sagittarius to Capricorn. So Venus is, in fun astrology terms, bummed out. In astrological conference terms, in detriment. Now, Saturn, the square planet, is in Aquarius in retrograde at 7 degrees. So let's remember our phrases: retool, reassess, realign, revise, replan. Now let's take the positive side of the coin first, and remembering that Saturn, in its positive state, is all about structure and foundation. Venus, about love. Scorpio, deep, romantic, passionate love. So this is a really great weekend if you're in a relationship and you want to revise, readdress, recommit, re-up. If you want to do these things that will add foundation, platform, longevity, because remember, Saturn also is about legacy. So if you would like to position yourself in your current relationship where you just build and build on what has already been amazing, this is a great weekend for that. Another little area that we could extrude from this that I just love because I have a daughter is father-daughter relationship. So Whether you have a young daughter or an older daughter, grown daughter, or granddaughter, you could rekindle the love with your daughter this weekend. Now, if we're on the shadow side of this aspect, well, you might put a little sleeping bag and cot and pillow together because you might be sleeping in the doghouse this weekend. No, here's the thing about the shadow side. Obviously, what we're saying here is stuff could blow, and it could, or maybe there's just the karmic work has already been going on, and you realize under this energy, this just isn't working. It could have absolutely that kind of element to it because Venus is in Scorpio. Death. Saturn. Death. So, let's not avoid the shadow side. We've talked about the good side for quite a few minutes. But here on the shadow side, things could erupt. And I would say the gracious part of the shadow side is that you could just look at it and say, this is not serving. Let's work out our separation in Namaste. And there's nothing wrong with it not working. I am not from the camp, obviously, if you know my story, of staying in something that is just absolutely not serving higher, best, good, just because. And that's just me, and it's influenced from my own journey. I so admire couples that have stuck it out and stayed together. Wasn't my path, but I've learned a lot of lessons from both sides on this. And the reality is sometimes your health, well-being, energy, and everything else is best served if you simply make tough decisions and try as best you can to move on in Namaste. And this is the kind of energy that could be the trigger of that. The other thing, because of that scorpionic tail, that stinger, boom, pow, whack, is if you are in the process of doing what we just talked about, frame it up. Use this pause here to frame it up in Namaste. In other words, come back to the passionate side of Scorpio. And instead of fighting for your Aquarian side of things, right, and trying to get the most you can, try to give and try to put the other first and try to put the process ahead of the outcome. You know what I mean? Get there, but get there in love and harmony and Namaste as best you can. That would be my thought around how you could use the shadow to your advantage. All right, we'll be back with Stephanie talking about Sagittarius medical astrology, the moon in Sag, but also if you have a Sag rising or even a Sag sun, or you have Sagittarius in your chart, come listen. It will apply, I promise. So we'll see you back tomorrow and then back on Monday. Have a great weekend.